October, the month that was supposed to be the golden month for Bitcoin. Historically, it has never been a red month in a post-halving year. It's a month that people call October, a time for breakouts, rallies and optimism. But right now, over halfway through October, Bitcoin hasn't moved much at all. At the time of recording this video, it is actually a little bit down compared to September. So that raises the question, is the top already in? That's what I want to break down in today's video. What's really going on with Bitcoin, what history tells us, and how I'm positioning myself heading into the end of the year. At the start of October, Bitcoin was flying. Everyone was celebrating like this was finally it. The Q4 rally we have been waiting for all year. But just as excitement peaked, the market flipped completely. We dumped, and we dumped hard. Bitcoin had just put in a new all-time high around 125k, and then the news came. Trump wanted to impose 100% tariffs on China. That tweet sent shockwaves across the market. Liquidations after liquidations and billions wiped out in hours. But here's the thing that some people maybe haven't noticed yet. According to Polymarket, the actual probability of those tariffs happening sits around 12% right now. So while the news sounded terrifying, the data shows it's very unlikely. We have seen this movie before. Earlier this year, similar tariff news hit. Bitcoin topped out, then trended down for about 2 months before resuming its uptrend. That doesn't mean history will repeat perfectly, but it tends to rhyme. We push to new highs, we correct down to 50-day moving average, and if the structure holds, the next move might just be another rally once the markets cool off. But zoom out, this isn't panic territory yet. Now we have just seen a weekly candle close below the bull market support band, and that's not really ideal news. If we don't reclaim that soon, then it will turn into resistance. So let's say we don't reclaim it, what happens if we stay below it? Well, the next level of support is probably gonna be the 50-day moving average. Maybe another retest of that before we rally into new all-time highs. As long as we can hold that level as support, the bull market remains intact. But if we start to see candle closes below it, that has historically been when the bear market has already begun. But let's slow down. But even if we are comparing to previous cycles, the timing doesn't line up yet. We are still only in October. Historically, the tops come around late Q4, November, December, and sometimes even early January. So yes, a correction is needed and completely normal. But I am not ready to call it over yet. Some mean that the cycle effect doesn't apply anymore and we could see an extended cycle. I haven't been in crypto for decades, but it only takes one cycle to learn this. Humans' emotions doesn't change. Greed and fear will always lead the markets. Right now we are starting to enter that fear stage, and that's usually where the opportunities lie. The stock market is still strong, gold is at new all-time highs, we have got rate cuts coming, liquidity likely improving, and yet some people are starting to act like it's 2018 all over again. But if we get to December and Bitcoin hasn't rallied into new all-time highs, I'll be the first to admit that something is definitely off and the cycle is likely over. But until then, I'm staying bullish, hoping for the best in the coming months. Let's talk about a potential death cross coming up. If you don't know what a death cross is, it's basically when the 50 SMA crosses below the 200 SMA. It sounds dramatic, but if we look at previous times where we have gotten these crosses, it has actually marked a low. If we project those moving averages forward, they are on track to cross within the next few weeks, unless Bitcoin rallies first. And if the pattern holds, that could mark the point where we find the real low before the next move up. Pair that with upcoming rate cuts and you can see why I'm still optimistic. We might be closer to a new phase instead of closing one. Now let's get back to the question. Is the top already in? Some people will argue that the top is already in. They point to the length of the cycle, compare that to other cycles, and argue that the timing matches historical peaks. But I don't buy that, I disagree. If we look closer, Q4 has always been the best returning months for the market, and people are already starting to call it top while we are only in October. Think about it. Gold is hitting new highs and Bitcoin is dumping. 2 rate cuts ahead and Bitcoin is dumping. QT has stopped and Bitcoin is dumping. Rumors of another trade war and Bitcoin is dumping. That's not the sound of a market at euphoria. We are only in the start of Q4 and we have so many things ahead and people are already starting to call it quits. So here's my take. If the 4-year cycle structure is finally broken, we are entering a new era. One where Bitcoin tends upwards most of the time with shorter corrections and faster recoveries. But that's a whole other video and I'm not really gonna go in depth with that. And we'll also have to wait and see what actually happens, of course. But I also wanted to talk about something I haven't talked about before. How I am positioning myself in the coming time. Right now I have about 10% in stablecoins, 40% in Bitcoin, 40% in Ethereum, and the last 10% is split between Solana and a few smaller alt positions. I normally DCA every Monday. That has been my strategy for a while now, but I have decided to pause that for now. I am slowly increasing my stablecoin stack to play it safe. Not because I'm bearish, but I want to be prepared if the top is already in. But again, I don't believe that. So if we look hard from here, I'm probably gonna look to get about 60 to 70% in stablecoins and wait for the 80 to 85k zone before redeploying. But if we start to rally again, I'm still gonna be looking to take profits. Because if we start to rally again, I still do believe that the top is gonna be sometime in late Q4 and I want to be prepared for that. And here's the thing, don't let fear abandon your plan. The markets feed on emotions. It wants you to panic. If you can't stay consistent, you are never gonna build conviction. And without conviction, you won't last in a cycle in this market. Even when Bitcoin is dropping, just look how strong these altcoins like Ethereum and Solana has been holding up. So again, for now I'm staying optimistic until proving otherwise. Because maybe this is just the last shakeout before we push into that final rally, before putting in the top for this cycle. So even though it might feel like all hope is gone, remember what your plan and your strategy is and just stick to that. Don't let all the noise shake you out. Stick to your plan. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up here. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like and subscribe and leave a comment down below what I can do better in these videos. I love to read them. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.